Hello everyone and welcome to Brave Souls Rewind, the show where I add 200 older characters so you don't have to. Now I know it's been a long time since I've done this series. For those of you who are not familiar, I basically 200 an older character and both give them links and increase their stats at a level that would be attainable for someone who's just starting out the game, to see whether or not that character is usable. Now this rewind of Kisuke was originally supposed to come out back in March, when White Day was the thing, even though we didn't get a White Day banner, but you know, life happens. And so here we are in August. Let's find out if this character is still usable. Now as always with this series I start off with a normal attack damage build. For this Kisuke in particular, that one's kind of an interesting one, since he doesn't have that high of an attack and he only has a plus 20 bruiser. But that said, he does have a boost move with Enhancer for his strong attack too, which increases his attack, defense, and focus by 33%. And when he got resurrected, he got a strong attack recharge link, so this attack comes back a little bit faster. Overall, the build's not bad. He does a decent amount of damage when he's boosted, and even when he's not, as long as he's going up against hollows, he can take him out pretty easily. Against the wrong cars, it didn't take that much effort either, but they definitely took a few more hits. I make it a point to chappy a character when I'm doing a NAD build on a rewind, just so I mostly use the normal attack to take out the enemies, but I still end up using my strong attacks here. Not just my strong attack 2, but the other 2 as well. And even though his SP is at 0, he does have Frenzy, and since the attack stat does contribute to how much damage a strong attack deals, I was actually able to take out some enemies with just my strong attacks. This Kisuke can also inflict debilitating paralysis with all of his attacks except for his strong attack 2, and that comes in handy in this build as well, especially when you're going up against an enemy who is not part of his killer. Overall, it's a pretty decent build, but obviously not what he's meant for. It's definitely usable, but it will take you a bit longer to complete quests with it, so I wouldn't really recommend it. Next up we have the strong attack damage / strong attack recharge build. And obviously, I kinda knew out of the gate that this build was gonna be great. He did come out at a decent time in the game after all, and he has a high SP and frenzy along with a plus 20 berserker after his resurrection. He also has a strong attack recharge link now, and his attacks do have decent range. I do think he would have benefited from Havoc had they given it to him, especially since his strong attack 3 isn't a full screen move, but you don't necessarily need it. Under this build, his normal attack also dealt a decent amount of damage when he was boosted, enough to easily take out hollows or any remaining health from the wrong cars. So yeah, this build is definitely still viable. Now finally we have the hybrid build, and I was actually looking forward to this one, since after all he has a boost move, so he's kind of meant to be a hybrid character, and this build absolutely works. Something I didn't mention with his normal attack build that I probably should mention here is that I do feel like his normal attack could have a little bit better reach, but it's not really enough to make either of these builds not usable. All of his attacks dealt decent damage, and it was actually nice to have a normal attack that would actually do damage when waiting for your strong attacks to recharge, especially since he has one that normally would take 40 seconds. So yeah, this build is also usable. Overall, he's still a solid character. Obviously not top tier, but still very much usable. While all 3 builds did pass, I would still only recommend you do one of the last 2 since the normal attack build does take a bit longer. Also, I should point out that the lack of range and speed on this character does mean you're gonna get hit a bit more, but luckily his link is very useful for that. And it allows a little room for error, which I absolutely love. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know what other characters you want to see in the rewind.